Hi everyone. Today we're going to go through how to use the AI and also how easy it is to use. So by now you'll have had the brochure sent to you with our website and your sign-in details. You'll have also received the Firefox Internet Explorer installation instructions, which we hope that you've gone through and installed. So the Firefox Internet Explorer is represented by this icon here. Quite simply, we double click on it and then the Firefox browser comes up. Now we go to the website on your given to you in the brochure, and up comes our website. Website is very basic. However, there's a lot of AI going on in the background for it. We feel as though a nice, clear picture is the best way to start. We don't want too much information there, paragraphs of writing, etc. Okay, so first of all, we've got to log in, and you use your details from the brochure that we've sent out. Okay, so let's sign in. And I'm not going to bother saving my login details. Okay, so after a few seconds, the AI loads, and the AI is represented by this lady here, along with this pile of books. Okay, if you don't use Firefox, then this might not load. Okay, so we are currently in development with the other Internet Explorer providers like Google Chrome, etc., and use on them, the use of the AI for those Internet Explorers will be coming soon. Okay, so before we begin with the AI, what we're going to do is just discuss this part up here. And what this part here is that the AI responds to speech. So in order for the AI to actually hear what you've got to say, you've got to allow the AI access to hearing what you're saying. So if we just click allow here, and then we see that the little microphone here is on. So let's go through the steps. Step 1, and we've discussed this already, make sure that you are using Firefox Internet Explorer, otherwise the artificial intelligence below will not work. Simply single click your mouse on the AI person below each time before you speak to the AI. And what that does is it basically is an activation key for the AI to begin. Okay, so I'm just going to go down here and click on her. Step 3. Now this is to communicate with the AI. Hold down the T button on your keyboard. Keep the T button held down while you talk. And after you've said what you have to say, then release the T button and wait for the artificial intelligence to respond. Okay, so what that means is basically you press the T button, keep the T button held down while you talk, and then release the T button after you've said what you need to say. Okay, so let's try that. And I'm just going to start off our lesson like we start off all lessons, with a personal greeting. So press and hold the T button down, say hello, and then release the T button. Hello.
Hello, my name is Alistair. Please press and hold the T button, and say in your one-time password, which was issued to you in the brochure, and then release the T button, and wait for the AI to respond.
Okay, so the brochure's been sent out after you've purchased the lesson, and then you've got a one-time passcode for the lesson. Okay, so my code for this lesson is 8355. So I hold down the T button, say 8355, and then release the T button. 8355.
Press and hold the T button, and say the name of the lesson which you have purchased. For example, either Algebra Lesson 47, or Algebra Lesson 48. After you have said the name of the lesson, release the T button, and wait for the AI to respond. Whenever you talk to the AI, please press and hold the T button while you talk. And after you have said what you need to say, then release the T button.
Okay, so I have purchased Algebra Lesson 47, which is on the quadratic formula. So all I say is press and hold the T button and then say Algebra Lesson 47, release the T button, and then she should start with going through that lesson. Okay, so let's try that. Algebra Lesson 47.
Welcome to our lesson on solving quadratics using the formula. We know from Algebra Lesson 46 that a quadratic is in the form a x squared add b x add c equals 0, where the highest power of x is x squared. We also know that the quadratic has to be equal to 0 to enable us to solve the quadratic. So if the quadratic is not equal to 0, we need to get the quadratic equal to 0. For example, x squared add 11x add 3 equals 3x take away 12 would need to be rearranged to x squared add 8x add 15 equals 0. If you are unsure how to rearrange a quadratic, then I would recommend for you to make a note and go through Algebra Lesson 46 in the future. To hear this introduction again, please say, repeat Algebra Lesson 47. Or to continue with learning how to solve quadratics using the formula, then please say, Algebra Lesson 47 Part 1.
Okay, so that was an introduction into Algebra Lesson 47. Basically there she mentioned about previous knowledge for solving quadratics, and a quadratic is in the form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, so we can either hear that last paragraph again by saying repeat Algebra Lesson 47, or we can continue with the lesson and say Algebra Lesson 47 Part 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with the lesson, and I'm going to press and hold the T button, say Algebra Lesson 47 Part 1, and then release the T button to continue with that lesson. Algebra Lesson 47 Part 1.
So far all of the quadratics which we have encountered could be factorized, but in reality, there are a lot more quadratics that cannot be factorized than can be factorized. So, if we cannot factorize to solve a quadratic, then how can we solve a quadratic? The answer is we use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula also gives you the roots of any equation, just like when you factorize. So, when you factorize and use the quadratic formula, you get the same answer. To see this formula visually, please see diagram 1. The quadratic formula is x equals negative b add, or take away root of b squared take away 4ac, all divided by 2a. To hear this again, please say, repeat Algebra Lesson 47 Part 1, or to continue, please say, Algebra Lesson 47 Part 2.
Okay, so in that paragraph there was a few bits of information that we need to go through. The first being where it said see diagram 1. Now diagram 1 is actually the step-by-step working out that is given to you in the brochure. So each question that the AI goes through, there are an accompanying step-by-step instructions for that question in your brochures, okay, for you to follow. The next point is again the repeat. So if you wanted to hear that previous paragraph again, all you need to say is repeat Algebra Lesson 47 Part 1. If you wanted to continue with the lesson, you would say Algebra Lesson 47 Part 2. Now later on in the lesson, after the AI has gone through an example along with the step-by-step instructions in the brochure, the AI gives you at least 2 questions to have a try at in each lesson. Now, you work through these questions and then the AI marks it for you and says whether you got it right or wrong. And then the AI goes through these two questions again using the step-by-step instructions in the brochure, just like how you would learn at school. However, the advantages with AI is that you don't need to ask like teachers questions by putting up your hand and waiting. With the AI, you can actually ask questions straight away and get a response straight away. So for instance, if like you tried question 5 with the AI and you didn't understand where you had gone wrong, you can simply ask the AI where you went wrong. Okay, so for instance, in diagram 3, if you got the wrong answer and if you got 7 and 5, for instance, you can actually ask the AI why you went wrong. So let's try that now. Okay, so we press and hold the T button and then we say, for diagram 3, I got 7 and 5.
Okay, so this is a common mistake. If you do not use the fraction button, then you need to press equals after typing in a numerator. And then after pressing equals, you can then press divide by 2.
Okay, so you can actually ask the AI questions about the questions within the lesson, and it will explain it in a more thorough environment. Okay, so thank you very much for listening today, and we hope that you found the presentation enlightening, and we hope to be able to provide you with more tutoring and teaching in the future.